Hi everyone, welcome back to the Math Society. So this week we'll be continue on to do chapter 10 past paper questions, which is permutation and combinations. Okay, so first of all, we have the very first question, which is how many different four-digit number can we form using the digits 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9. So we have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in total, there's like 6 digits, right? And then they say from these 6 digits, how many four-digit numbers can you use? And you can only use once in any number. So we know that it has to be a permutation. So we have a total of 6 digits, 6 permutation 4, and then you have a number of 360. Because you have to choose, you can only have four-digit numbers. And for 2, it says that how many of the numbers found in part 1 are divisible by 5. So we have 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9. So we know that only 5 is going to be divisible by 5. So we can have, so now we say that we can only have four-digit numbers, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the end, it has to be 5 because it says what can be divided by 5. So from the first 3, you can have any numbers in the first 3, which means, but 5 is not included. So you have a total of 5. And then 3, you can choose 3 numbers, so which is going to be 5b3, which is going to equal to 60. And the same way as in part 1, like odd number and greater than 7,000. We need to make sure that it's going to be odd number. 3, 4. So odd number has to be greater than 7,000. So we can start with 7, and then at the end it'll have 3, 5, and then 9. And you can also start with 9. Oh, sorry, 8. Because it says it has to be greater than 7,000. Just have odd 3, 5, 7, and 9. And you'll have 9, 3, 5, 7. So it's the same way. We know that there's going to be four from six numbers, 4 is going to be left, and you can choose 2 numbers. And then the other one is going to be 10, which is going to be 120. And that is your number. And then for B, it says that the number of combination of n items taken 3 at a time is 92n. So it says combination. So n, C, taken 3 at a time, that's equal to 92n. So we know that NC3 is n, the, what do you call the exclamation mark? It's n minus 3 multiply 3. That's going to equal to 92n. And we know that this is n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, and then it's so on. And divided by, that is n minus 3, and you can that's going to be so on, and it's going to be 3, 2, 1. And that is going to equal to 92n. So you can cancel n out with each other. And then n minus 3, this whole thing. And you have the upper one, n minus 1, n minus 2. Divided by 3, 2, which is going to be 6. That's equal to 92. And you'll have, you solve this, which is n squared minus 2n minus n plus 2. That's going to be divided by 6 equal 92. So that is n squared minus 3n plus 2 equals 6 multiplied 2, 92, 12, 552. So then you're gonna have, if you minus it, so n squared minus 3n minus 550. So that's going to equal 0. And you use the cross method where you will get n minus 25 and then n plus 22. And that's going to equal 0. So n is going to be 25 or n equals minus 22. But then because it's negative and we cannot have n as negative, we need to reject this. Okay, so now moving on to 2. 2 is also the same. Where find how many 5 different 5-digit numbers can be formed using the digits. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8. So that's 5, 6, the total of 6 numbers. And then how many 5 digits? So it's just going to be 6p5, which is going to equal 720. And it does say you can only use once, yeah? And how many numbers found in part 1? Part 1 are not divisible by 5. So firstly, if we want to find the stuff that can be divided by 5, we can find the numbers that can be divided by 5 because we only have 5 here. So you can have, it's going to be 5-digit numbers. And you have 5. And then from the left, because there's a total of 6 number, but 5 is already taken, you have like 5 number left, and you need to choose 4 numbers from that, which is 5p4. And then usually it's just multiply 1 because 5 is going to be in that permanent place. So that's equal 120. But now you need to find something that is not divisible of 5. So we know that total is 720. So you minus it by 120, which you get 600. And that is your numbers that cannot be divided by 5. And then for 3 is the same as even and greater than 30,000. So we have, it has to be greater than 30,000. So it is 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then it has to be greater than 30,000. So 3 can be the number. Let's do this first. And 5 can be the number. 7 can be the number. And then 8 can be the number. Yep, 5. So if 3 is the number, we need to find which is even. So even we have 2 and 8. So 2 and 8 can be here. 5 as well. 2 and 8, 7, 2 and 8 as well. And then 8, just 2, because 8 is already there. So this very first place is going to be permanent. And then here you just have to choose like, because if you have one number here, you'll have 4 left. So you have 4 left and you can choose 3 numbers from those 4 to fit in these places. So it's going to be 4p3. And then these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they're going to rotate with each other. So you can multiply with just 7, which is already equal 168. And that is your answer. And then moving on to B, which is similar. So the number of combination of n items taken 3 at a time. So combinations taken 3 at a time is going to equal to 6 times the number of combination and taken time by 2. So you need to find the value of the constant n. So we know that it's going to be n factorial by 3 factorial, n minus 3 factorial. Multiply 3 factorial because it's nc3. And then it's going to be 6 multiply n factorial by n minus 2 factorial. Multiply 2 factorial. So 2 factorial is going to be 3, n factorial, n factorial. So it's going to be 1 by n minus 3 factorial. That is n minus 3, n minus 4, multiply, and then it's gone. And then you'll have multiply 6, and then equals to 3 by n minus 2, n minus 3, and it goes on, and then you have 1. So you can just divide this whole thing, n minus 3 thingy, divided by n minus 3 thingy. So you'll have n minus 2, that is equal to 63, which is 18. So n is going to equal to 20. And that is your n value. Okay, so now moving on to question 3. It says that in an examination, candidates must select 2 questions from the 5 questions in section A, must select 2 questions from 5, which means 5C2 because you select them, and then 4 questions from the 8 questions, so 8C2. Oh, sorry, 8C4. And then it's actually find a number with this can be done. So you just multiply them, which you will get 700. Because you need to select 2 questions from 5 and then 4 questions from the total of 8 questions. And then moving on to B, it shows that the digit of number are to be arranged so the resulting 7-digit number is even. So we'll find the number of ways in which this can be done. So we know there has to be a 7-digit number. And at the end, the 7-digit has to be even. So we have 2, 6, and 8 that has to be even. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can be any order with the last with any of the numbers there. And they didn't say that it has to be like it cannot be used only once on anything. So we can just have it as a 6 factorial. Multiply this one is just going to be 3 from there. And that is all gonna be in total of 2,160. And that is your number. And then moving on to question 4. So find how many different 5-digit numbers can be formed using 5 of the 8 digits. So you have 8 digits, you just need 5 digits. So 8p4, which is, sorry, 8p5. You need 5-digit numbers. So 8p5, that's going to be 6,720. And then 2. So find how many of these 5-digit numbers are greater than 60,000. So to be greater than 60,000, we have, So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So to be greater than 60,000. So you have 6, 4, 3, 4, 5. You 6, 7, and 8. So those three are going to be the permanent position. Others can be anything. So if you, from a total of 8, you already have one number, so you have 7 left. And then this 4, it can be any. So 7p4 multiplied 3. And that will be equal to 2,520. And moving on to B. So a team of 3 people is to be selected from 4 men and 5 women. Find the number of different films that could be selected, which include at least 2 women. So women has to be at least 2. So starting from 2, if you choose 2, so 3 people, right? So men, you can choose 1. And because it says at least 2 women. So if you choose 3, then there's going to be 0. Okay? So now we can add all of these up. So basically from the first, it has 4C1. You choose 1 from a total of 4 male. And that's going to multiply with 5C2. So you choose 2 from the woman because it has to be at least 2. And then another thing was that you can choose 5C3 and no men. So that's going to be equals to, this one's multiply, you have 40, and that's plus 10, which is going to equals to 50 ways that can be selected. Okay, moving on to question 5. It says how many different 4-digit numbers can be formed using digits 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 9. So you have a total of 6 digits. So each can be used once only, but there's no restriction. So you can have 6p4, and that's going to equal to 360. And it says how many of these 4-digit numbers are even and greater than 6,000. So you have 4. And to be greater than 6,000, we can use 6, 7, and 9, right? In the first position, 6, 7, and 9. And then you will have that, it has to be even. So at the end, you can have 4, because 6 is already there. It's just going to be 4, 6 of 4, and 6 of 4. So here there's 2 places left. 2 are taken, so you have 4p2. Because you have to choose 2 from the remaining 4 numbers, and you'll multiply with 5 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that it will give you 60. And moving on to B, it says that a committee of 5 people is to be formed from 6 doctors, 4 dentists, and 3 nurses. So we have 13 people in total, and you need to select 5 people. So find a number of different committees that could be formed if there are no restrictions. So it means from just this 13 people, you can choose any 5 people. So it's just going to be 13C5, which is 1,287. And the committee needs to contain at least 1 doctor. So there has to be at least 1 doctor. So we can find like the total, which we already have here, 1287 minus the number of people that no doctors is going to be there. So we have that if there's no doctors, there's a total of 4 and 3, that's like 7. So you can have 7 and you can just choose 5 people from that 7. So it's just going to be 1,287 minus 7C5 because we're not going to be choosing from any of the doctor. So that's equal to 1,266. And then the last condition is that it contains all the nurses. So all the nurses, there's 3 nurses, and you have to contain all 3 of them. So it's going to be 3C3. And then from this 2, it means you can contain anything. You have 10 left, and then you can only choose 2 more because you only need 5 people. So it's going to be 10C2. So that is going to give you 45. Okay, so now moving on to question 6. It says to find a number of ways in which 12 people can be put into 3 groups containing 3, 4, and 5. So 3, 4, and 5 people have to be contained like respectively. So at 12, you can choose 3 people. So if there's no more 3 people, you'll have 9 people left. So and then you choose 4 from there. And after you've chosen 4, you'll have 5 people left, and you choose 5 from there. So you multiply all of this, and you'll get an answer of 27720. Okay, so now moving on to B, which says that 4-digit numbers can be formed using 4 of the digit 2, 6, 7, 2, 3, 7, 8, and 9. Each digit can be used only once in any 4 digits. So 4-digit numbers, 4p, you have a total of 5, so it's just going to be 5p4, and that's equal to 120. And then 1, 2, which just says that the number is going to be even. So you have 4-digit numbers, and it has to be even. So you have 2 and 8, which are even numbers. So 2 and 8 is going to be 2. And then here you can choose 3 numbers out of 4 because the 1 will be here, so it's going to be 4p3 multiplied 2 because there's going to be 2 numbers, and that's equal to 48. And then the third condition is that the number is greater than 7,000 and odd. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 7, 8, and 9. So you have 3 big numbers. So it's going to be 7, 8, and 9. Odd number, 7 is there. So you'll have 3. And then 9 and 8. So it's going to be 3, 7, 9. And you have 3 and 7. So then there's 3 numbers are going to be definitely there. And you have here. So 2 numbers taken. You have 3 in total left. 3b2 because you have to choose 2 numbers from those 3 left. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So that's 7 equals to 42. Okay, so now moving on to question 7, which says that a 4-digit code is to be formed using 4 different numbers, so like different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you have 9 numbers. And how many different codes can we call if there are no restrictions? So 4 different numbers, 9p4. From a total of 9, you can just choose any 4, which is going to be 9p4. You have an answer of 3024. And another thing is that only prime numbers are supposed to be used. So we have prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9, but they're only prime numbers. So you only have, and it says only 4 different numbers. So it's just going to be 4 factorial, which is 24. And then we have that 2 even numbers are followed by 2 odd numbers. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-digit. Even numbers followed by odd. So even numbers, there's going to be a total of 4 numbers. So 4p2. Odd numbers is also odd numbers. There's 5 numbers. 5p2. So just multiply them and you'll get 240. And then D is that the code forms an even number. So 4 number, even number. So it has to end with 2, 4, 6, and 8, and that's it. So here you can choose any. So that's going to be left with 8 numbers, right? Yep. A total of 8, and you choose 3 from 8 numbers multiplied by 4, because there's 4 chances of this. So you have an answer of 1344. Yep. And that's it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next week video.